One of the functions of belief is taking action. We did a survey of about 2,000 top entrepreneurs, and we noticed that one of the things that people who win in that world have is a bias for action.
You cannot lose by taking action. You can only lose by not taking action. I think the great majority of people surrounded by the greatest opportunities in the best country in the history of man on earth who don't succeed are people who are on the island. You've always got a reason for not taking action. And if you delay taking action repeatedly over and over again, you develop the habit of never taking action. You get to develop the habit of procrastinating and holding back and so on.
There are so many people in the world, and you know, you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true, because the way that our minds are wired and the fact about human beings is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive.
How many of you have ever had a great idea, talked about it, thought about it, didn't do it, and then someone else did it and was successful, and you went, darn, I should have done that?
And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us.
Take action. So many people talk about doing something or say, what if? They don't actually get up and do it. Taking action is really, really important. In 1998, when I was working for another company, I was umming and ahhing of whether to set up my own business. I didn't have a lot of money, but I decided to take action and I decided to do it. But I did it in a very planned way. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve. But the most important thing, I took action. Within 2 or 3 years, I was a millionaire again. Probably the best thing that I ever did. So taking action is absolutely vital.
You're never going to feel like it. Motivation's garbage. You only feel motivated to do the things that are easy. One of the hardest things to figure out was, why is it so hard to do the little things that would improve my life?
You got to be willing to take the action. Now, there's two kinds of actions. Outer action, what we call the action journey. You're out in the world, you're doing things. And there's inner actions, which are things like meditation, and visualization, and affirmations. We'll talk about that. Research now seems to indicate that 1 hour of inner action is worth 7 hours of out in the world action.
The way that our minds are designed is our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you. The way that this all happens is it all starts with something super subtle that none of us ever catch. And that is with this habit that all of us have that nobody's talking about. And make a decision to act in a way that actually shifts your marriage. Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything.
That every successful person has to do, including you. Believe it or not, every successful person in this world has jumped. You are going to have to jump. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. If you're waking up thinking that there's got to be more to your life than it is, man, believe that it is. Believe in your heart of hearts that it is. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump. See, God, when he created all of us, he gave every last one of us a gift at birth. He never created a soul without endowing them with a gift. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, singing, dancing. It's more than that. It's if you know how to network, if you can connect dots, if you draw, if you teach. Some of y'all fry chicken better than anybody else, bake pie. Some of you cut hair, color hair. Some people do grass. I got a partner, man, who never wanted to go out with us because we stayed out too late. Come on, man, go out with me. Now I got to get up early, Mom, cutting Miss Johnson's grass. We kept laughing at this dude, cutting grass. How much they pay you? I got a partner on a detail shop, make $800,000 a year detailing cars. He got 6 mobile trucks running around. $800,000 a year. All he do is detail cars. That's his gift. That's what he loved to do. You've got to identify that gift. Now listen to me. When you see people in life, when you're standing on the cliff of life and you see people soaring by, when you see people soaring, going to exotic places, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and your neighbor just gets a car every year, every 2 years. You know, how is he doing that? Have you ever thought, maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift? Your gift will make room for you. Your gift, not your education. You go get an education, that's nice. But if you don't use your gift, that education only going to take you so far. It's your gift. But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump. You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. You got to jump off that cliff and pull that cord. And if you're getting up going to work on a job every day that you hate going to, that ain't living, man. You just existed. At one point in time, you ought to see what living's like. But the only way to see what living like, you got to jump.
I want you to dream. You a freshman, go for it. You a sophomore, go for it. You a junior, you got a little bit more time. If you are a senior, you should be no dreaming right now. No more dreaming. If you are a senior, dreaming is over. It's over. Like, I need specifics.
When you first jump, let me tell you something. Your parachute will not open right away.
What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific.
I wish I could tell you it did, but it don't. When you jump, it's not going to open right away.
It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle.
You're going to hit them rocks. You're going to get some skin tore off on them cliffs. You're going to get all your clothes tore off. You're going to get some cuts on you. You're going to be bleeding pretty bad. But eventually, Eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise of God. That ain't a theory, that's a promise. His promises is true, because listen to me. You cannot name one single thing God has not gotten you through.
It's hard living. Life is hard. When you are 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay, and you got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children, and your children are crawling, and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it, and it doesn't work out. You lose your money and other people's money. It's hard. It was rough when I lost my job, and I could not find a job. It was humiliating and embarrassing, borrowing money, and then I couldn't pay the money back when I told them I would. That's rough. How people look at you, how they respond to you. It's very hard. It's humiliating. Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. Just go out there. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary. If you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to fail and to succeed. You got to be willing to form and to develop new relationships. It's you, it's on you. You got to make that happen. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. You go through the challenges of life, and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you. Don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with, and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, the people who go after this stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. Learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do, do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender. You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas. Unquestionably, you've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That is not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. People know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard. It's hard, yes, it's hard. It's difficult, yes, right, and it's worth it. The major key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you.
Listen to me, there's a direct correlation between time and success. So one of the blueprints to success, guys, is you gotta have a sense of urgency. I told you that you were phenomenal, powerful beyond measure.
Let's look at where we want to go. What is it that we want to produce? What is it that we want to create for our young people? And as we think about that, start experimenting with different methods and techniques to create and to produce that. And begin to believe that it's possible. Through our commitment, through our vision, through our determination, our relentlessness.
You have access to you, and I just need you to get started, right? Once you can get that momentum going, once that momentum gets going, boom, there's no telling where you can go.
And for some of you, you stop dreaming. You dream for a week and you stop because things around you don't look good.
First level was all about you understanding there's nothing you can't do, there's nothing you can't have. There's nothing you can't be, but that's over now. Now we gotta build on that. You hear what I'm telling you?
You dream for a month, and when you get hit in the mouth, you quit and you give up.
You are phenomenal. Yup, you are phenomenal beyond measure. Yup, you do matter. That's just the start. That's phase one. That's not where we're ending. That's just step one. Now we gotta keep climbing. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep going.
You dream for a while, and when people tell you crazy, and when people tell you stupid, and when people tell you can never get done, you stop dreaming and you go back to knowledge. I dare you to use your imagination. I dare you when you're broke to use your imagination. I dare you when you're rich to use your imagination. I dare you under every single circumstance. Keep dreaming. Keep looking at your dream. Keep focusing on your dream. Keep going after the dream because that's where true success is.
You're not where you are because you don't have an opportunity. The reason why I've been telling you don't be average, don't be good, try to be great, then be phenomenal. The reason why I told you that is because, listen to me, you gotta understand. You have to understand if you stay average and you stay good, you'll never get to where you're trying to get to.
And we've all had experiences where we were working on something and we knew it was possible. And we did those things that were necessary to bring it into reality. We took the responsibility to make it happen. Other people couldn't see it. A lot of people didn't believe it. You were attacked. You were criticized.
It has nothing to do with opportunities. You've been given opportunities. The problem is you're not operating in your greatness in that opportunity. So that's why you're stuck on that particular level.
People were opposing you, but you kept on doing it. It was hard, it was rough, it was difficult, but to you it was worth it. And eventually you got to a level you know, can nothing stop me now.
I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. This is your year. Are you hearing me?
That when you're working, you have a wall to break through. Let's say a friend of mine who runs a marathon, and he says, when he's running the 26-mile marathon, he said, let's say that hypothetically, that 18th mile is the wall. He said, Les, when you get there and you're running, he says, everything in you is telling you to stop, to give up. Every muscle is aching. And you're saying to yourself, I can't do it. I can't do it. And you just keep on and you keep on and you keep on. It seems like you're moving at slow motion. And then eventually when you break through that 18-mile wall, then you know it's like done and you're on automatic and you glide on in. And you know it's there. You know you're going to get to the finish line.
You cannot let a fear of failure or a fear of comparison or a fear of judgment stop you from doing what's going to make you great. Look, as best we know it, we have one life. In it, you have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks. You are going to change the world around you in big ways and in small. You cannot succeed without this risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and you must take these risks. And people will tell you to do what makes you happy, but a lot of this has been hard work. And I don't think you should do just what makes you happy. I think you should do what makes you great. Do what's uncomfortable and scary and hard, but pays off in the long run. Be willing to fail. Let yourself fail. Fail in the way and the place where you would want to fail. Fail, pick yourself up, and fail again. Because without this struggle, what is your success anyway?
I need you to reflect. Are you hearing me? I need you to think about. I need you to go back to the first one. When you're phenomenal, you're not forgotten. Great is about growth. It's your dream. If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want it to happen, rise and grind. Listen to me.
I have a life, and it only goes in one direction, forward.
There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. I told you, I didn't get a new daddy. I didn't get a new mama. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying, I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Now, let me say this before I move forward, and I can't explain it, but you better feel me. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture. And when you become a winner, they start seeing you with winners. You get from being a loser, low self-esteem, doubt, and fear. And if you can find your way on this side, guys, it's sweeter on this side. We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. In 30 days, if you don't make what they told you was gonna make, in 30 days you got an attitude, you want your money back. But you've never demanded your money back from yourself. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time? I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down. I have standards. I have values. I don't care how much you pay me. If I speak at an elementary school for $300, I chose to do that. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. No, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. You need to get rid of them excuses, and you need to stop pointing fingers at people. And you need to start pointing fingers at yourself. What did you not do?